Carrie Colehouse here at Media Place Partners, and joining us on the ad couch today is Katie Englishman.
Hi, Carrie.
Katie, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Katie is our Director of Account Management.
That's correct.
At Media Place Partners, and she's going to be talking with us today a little bit about optimization. And some people may or may not know what optimization even means when it comes to digital advertising. So to start, why don't you just walk us through a very baseline understanding. What is optimization?
Sure. So to me, optimization is really about making a campaign work for the client. So, when a client comes in the door, they have their initial goals, what they want from their campaign. We call those key performance indicators. So whether that be driving, awareness to their website or generating clicks or some sort of action on the website, we start with that baseline of what is your goal? What do you want from your campaign overall? So then we kind of get into optimization, which is basically making that happen. So whether it be optimizing, by clicks, by creative messaging, a lot of times we'll have different tactics and strategies in the mix. So there's quite a few levers we can pull in terms of optimization and making a campaign succeed.
Great. Can you give me an example of a time where a campaign started out and your team was really able to make some optimizations and adjustments that had a great impact on the result?
Sure. So we're actually running a campaign right now for a local client here in town, and they're trying to drive both Amazon sales and brick and mortar sales for one of their products, their key products, which happens to be toothpaste. So, we initially launched the campaign with a number of different strategies, and as we optimized and looked at which domains were performing, which creative messages were performing, and how everything was working together, we were really able to hone in on those strategies, which resulted in actually week over week doubling Amazon purchases.
Wow.
And also brick and mortar sales have been up 60%. And the campaign's only been live a month and a half, so I would call that a great success.
That's exciting.
Yeah, yep.
So for you, obviously this is something that you excel at and that you've really been able to do well with here at the company. So what do you think it is about this type of work that really gets you going?
My favorite part of account management is building that relationship with our clients. For me, it's not just about what's working. I really like to collaborate with the client and, keep them in the loop. Like, hey, we're seeing some awesome performance on search or, with the Amazon sales or that kind of thing. So I really like to bounce ideas off them, even creatively sometimes. We'll get into the weeds a little bit in terms of what message isn't working and how maybe we can better turn that into a display creative that would work for their campaign.
So how many strategies do clients typically start out with?
It depends on the budget, I would say. The larger budgets, we usually recommend a few different strategies so that we can start kind of broad and then see what's working. And as I mentioned, hone in on those strategies that are working. If the budget's smaller, I tend to, maybe stick with 2 or 3 tried and true strategies that we know historically perform well for our clients.
Okay, great. And what kind of things day to day is your team doing when they're monitoring these campaigns and optimizing?
There's definitely a lot of reporting, lots of Excel spreadsheets going on. So, we're filtering out those poor performers, removing them within the platforms. So it's kind of a lot of bouncing around, honestly, between, what are the reports looking like from the display side platforms, and then jumping into those platforms and making the edits that we need in order to ensure that the campaign's running on successful websites and delivering in the way that we would like it to.
Mm-hmm. How do you think our approach to optimization here at Media Place Partners might differ from some of our competitors?
We are very hands-on here at Media Place Partners. I'm in there day in, day out. That's all I'm doing is looking at my campaigns, constantly running reports, constantly analyzing the data. We have a data analysis team as well that's there to back up our account management team if we need any specialized custom reports for our clients. And I think we pride ourselves on making those changes the same day. Mm-hmm. And also, if a client has a special recommendation, I usually try to turn it around the same day as well if I can. So, just really being on top of things for our clients, making sure that we're communicating with them and making sure we're getting them what they need as quickly as we possibly can.
So one of the things that I know our clients love here at Media Place Partners is our central reporting system.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that and how it works?
Yes, so that differentiates us a bit as well, because our central reporting system is a dashboard that our clients can log into at any time, day or night, and check on the status of their campaign. So it gives every data point imaginable: impressions, clicks, conversions, and also what their spend's at. So they can see where we're at in terms of meeting their budget goals and how performance is looking overall. It also breaks out creative performance as well, if there's multiple messages being delivered for a campaign, as well as pixel reports. So if we have a number of different actions that we're tracking on a website, the client can jump in and see, where are those pixels firing and what websites are getting more action than others.
Do you feel that a lot of clients really like to check in every single day, or do they check in every single week? Do they wait for a report to come out? How does that usually run?
It kind of varies, I would say, but for the most part, I would say most of my clients really like to see, how their money is being spent and whether or not we're reaching those goals. And Central can allow them to access that data. So I think it's very handy for them to have. And then, as I mentioned before, if they want any specialized reporting, in terms of a whitelist or sometimes DMA reports or anything like that we don't offer within our Central platform, that is something that I can get them relatively quickly.
So talk to me a little bit more about the in-depth process of optimization and what our approach is for it here at Media Place Partners.
Sure. So we really like to start out with a number of strategies so that we can see which strategy is going to work best with this message, and how can we best reach the goals that the client is hoping to see. So as we start out with a number of strategies, we usually go with a broader strategy, which we like to call a prospecting strategy. So that'll be a more open reach strategy, maybe a topic targeting, so news or sports or weather, whatever makes the most sense with the brand that the client has. And that's more of a broad strategy. We'll get a little more granular with our targeting as well and focus maybe on keywords or a custom affinity, which is actually taking, specific behavioral interests that a user has shown and, putting that into the platform and targeting users who maybe have an interest in running shoes or 5Ks or something like that. So that's a more granular strategy, and we like to have a broad range of those. So all the way from a prospecting down to a more targeted strategy.
What are some of the strategies that you think are the tried and true, the ones that you would recommend to just about any client looking to have a successful digital campaign?
Sure. Retargeting is definitely one that we always like to pitch to our clients. It just makes sense, It's based on a pixel on the website, and we pixel a user that's already been to your site, and then we kind of follow them around and serve them ads. So, it makes the most sense just because they've already shown an interest in your brand. So why not try to get them to come back and complete that purchase or whichever action you're looking for them to complete on the website.
Sort of the low-hanging fruit of the digital advertising world.
Exactly, 100%, 100%. And then, some of the broader strategies I like to pitch are the market fit strategy, which is more of a topic targeted strategy. So as I mentioned earlier, Google will classify all of these websites into different channels, and then we can go after those people based on what topic we think they would show interest in and where it would make the most sense to serve the ads for our clients.
And about how long do you need to run a strategy before you can really tell if it's working, and you might advise the client to shift budgets around a little bit, or maybe turn one off, turn another on?
Definitely. I generally like to give it 2 weeks minimum. I would say closer to a month is usually what we prefer to see, because 2 weeks usually gives the systems enough time to kind of learn, and then I'm in there manually optimizing as well. So I definitely don't like to pull the plug too early. I would say 3 to 4 weeks is probably the sweet spot. And if we see out of the gate that something's not working as well, I'll sometimes start to kind of dial back a little bit, just so I'm not wasting money on that tactic. But before we totally exit tactic, yeah, we definitely have to give it some time to run.
You want to gather enough data and have enough actual users see the ad before you can start to make conclusions about if it's working or not.
100%, 100%. You don't want to act something too soon.
All right, well, thank you so much for talking with us today, Katie.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it. Obviously, you have so much knowledge in this department. If you have any questions for Katie regarding optimization or digital ad campaigns or anything advertising related, please leave a comment or feel free to visit our website at mediaplacepartners.com.